So I've had a few requests to show some different joints, like a miter joint, half lap, dovetails. So I thought I'd take a tutorial here just to do a bunch of different joints. So let's see what we can do. We'll learn a new tool or two here as well. So let's do a miter. It's a pretty simple one that a lot of people request. I'm going to draw a board here. We'll make him about 3 by 6, let's say. We'll pull them up to 3/4 inch thick, and then we'll group. Alright, so we know that when we do a miter, it's going to go from corner to corner in a square, right? So each side will be 3 inches. So we're going to do a guide here, and we'll do a point in 3 inches. And then what we'll do here is we'll just take the pencil. First we'll go in into our group so we can draw on this face. We'll take our pencil here, and we'll go corner to corner. And then we'll pull all the way through there, and once you see that, you click, and then it'll disappear. So there's our 45. And we'll come back out, delete this guide. Now we could just draw another board over here and do another 45 miter, but we might as well just copy this board, right? We already have it almost ready to go. So let's do our copy. Bring him over here. And then I'm going to flip get the two facing. So now the last step is we need to rotate him, right? He needs to be down here so he can plug in. And we haven't shown this tool yet, but we're going to use the rotate tool. Just this one right here. So the rotate tool is pretty interesting. Using this one, you can rotate on any axes. So you see here, if we rotate it, we're going to be rotating around the blue axis, which is this one here. And this is kind of confusing to think about how you're actually rotating around this axis, but the protractor here will change color depending on which axis it thinks it wants to go. There's the red, and you can get the green in here somewhere. If you're close, at the corner on the back, right there. So I'll do a couple examples, and I'll explain how this works in a second. But you'll see. So when we go here, rotate this way. If we were to get it on red, we're rotating this way. So we want blue in this case. So the way you do rotate is, your first point you click is the point you're going to rotate around. So we want to rotate around this point, click once. And then you say, you give it sort of an area where you want to start rotating from. So it doesn't really matter which of these points we pick, but I just sort of pick a point that's straight out from where I started. So I'm going to go there, click. And now when you move the mouse, it wants to rotate. And we'll get our hints. We're going to stay here on this axis. Click again. And now we're done. So then we go back to move. We can move this right over here to this guy. There we go. So there's our miter. So what if we wanted to do a half lap? So I'm just, instead of redrawing all these pieces, I'm just going to undo back before I drew my miter. I'll keep that guide there though. So for a half lap, we're going to go in here. We're just going to draw a pencil line right across. And we're going to pull down half the width of this, right? So this is 3/4. So we're going to come down 3/8. I'll type that in, make sure it's accurate. There we go. Come out here, get rid of this guide. Make a copy of this guy. Let's see. We'll see which of these flips works. Red does not. Green? Nope. I'll use blue. There we go. So that's going to lap that way. And then we'll use our rotate tool again. Let's say we want to rotate around this corner. Like that. And then we'll just move it into position. We want to make sure that we're lined up there. So what I'll do is I'll move that again. This time I'll grab it from one of the points I can reference. So if I grab it from here, I can reference it to that point there. Make sure they're lined up. There we go. So that's our half lap. Now it's a shame we build this beautiful drawing and then you can't really ever see it again. Well, there's a view that lets you see inside here. If we go up to view, face style, and if we go X-ray, it actually lets us see inside of our models, and we kind of get some hints. See, these lines are nice dark black because they're outside edges, but these ones are sort of a gray because they're inside. So it's just kind of a neat way to see your joinery when you make it all. And go back, just go face down, go X-ray, turn that back off. Alright, let's try, how about a tongue and groove? So actually what we'll do here is I'll just undo a few steps, go back. And actually I don't need this guy at this time. So tongue and groove here, we're going to come down the length. And it's about a third of the width, so let's come down here a quarter. Let's come down here. And then we'll come up a quarter. And we'll use that as a reference now. We'll go inside here and take our rectangle. Draw it right there. And then we're going to push pull in a quarter of an inch. So get it started, in the direction you want to go, but then just type 1/4. So there's that. In this case, I didn't duplicate this guy before I started, so I'll just draw a new one. And he was 3x6. Oops, wrong way. So we'll go 6x3. Come up 3/4. Group. Oops. Quarters. And we'll group them together. And here's a neat little trick. These two guides we actually want. We can reuse these guides. But if we move this guy over here, it doesn't really do us any good because the guides are sort of stuck over here. So if we put him back, and if we hold shift and we select with our arrow tool here, so you get the plus minus. So click one thing and hold shift, and then you can select additional things. So we'll select this guide and this guide. You can see they turn blue. Then we'll go to our move tool. We'll actually move the guides with it. It just gives us some room to come over here and look. So we're going to go inside. We're going to take our rectangle. Try the same thing, but this time we're going to push and pull out a quarter. And we'll get rid of these guides. And we'll move him over here. There we go, there's our little tongue groove. And if we want, they can look at the X-ray. See it running down the length there. Pretty neat. So along the same lines, what if we wanted to do a spline in there instead of a tongue groove? So we'll actually get rid of this guy, and we're going to duplicate him because he already has a groove in him. Oops. Press Alt there, duplicate. And then once again, we'll do our flip along, so we need to flip him over to face the other way. So let's try red, and red does it. So I'm going to start by bringing him over here, back. And sort of a gap down the middle there. So we'll want to create a new face and push pull it all the way through to make our spline. So I'll just use this as sort of the box to size my spline. So I'll make a rectangle here, and then I'll just move this guy temporarily out of the way. Come around, and then we'll push pull down here, and make a group. Turn back around, and then move this guy over. There we go. Spline. We take a look with our X-ray. Kind of neat to see. Alright, so how about, turn it off. How about a, let's say we do a little rabbit groove here. So let's delete all these guys. Let's start over here. Make a little block, let's say 6x6 and 3/4 inch thick. And let's say we'll make his matching peak. Let's group this guy first. Group. And we'll build